Welcome back. Previously, we were discussing memorandum trading account. I hope what is the purpose of preparing a memorandum trading account? In some situations, you may not be able to find out the amount of sales during the period. So, in that situations, in order to find out the amount of sales, you will be preparing memorandum trading account. But especially you will be using the algebraic equation rather than a memorandum trading account. The two equations we have learned previously, sales equal to cost of goods sold plus or minus profit or loss, and the equation for finding the cost of goods sold. So familiarize each cases. So let us discuss some of the preparation of final accounts statements, and in those cases where we will be applying the memorandum trading account concept. Next case. Question. Mr. T.P. Sukumar was carrying on business as a sole trader but had not kept his books properly. You are asked to prepare his final accounts for the year ended 31st December 2016. You are, however, able to obtain the following information. So, with regards to this T.P. Sukumar, sole trader, usually in case of a sole trader and a partnership situations, you will come across a term known as drawings. There will be drawings in that situations. So let us go to further with the question, make sure whether there are any more adjustments. So the closing period is 31st December 2016. See, it's given 31st December 2015 is opening, 31st December 2016 is closing. Summary of cash book is given. All these transactions has to be recorded in the cash book. Balance of cash, that is opening cash, is given. Received from debtors, personal drawings, payment to creditors, salaries, rent, electricity charges, printing stationery, advertising, etc. His other assets and liabilities also given. See, there are some item rent outstanding, electricity charges outstanding, advertisements outstanding. I hope you know how to deal with this opening and closing balances of various outstanding expenses. Next one, stock on 31st December 2016, that is closing stock, but he has no record of the stock on 31st December 2015. So he doesn't have the details of the opening stock. So you need to find the value of opening stock. He informs you that he sells his goods at cost plus 33 1/3%. See, I have mentioned about this percentage rate with regard to the gross profit or sales in the previous class, and whenever 33 1/3% of certain item is given, make sure what it is related. Here it is said that thus he sells his goods at cost plus 33 1/3%. That is cost plus a certain amount of profit, that is known as 33 1/3% equal to sales. That is the concept. So you need to find out the gross profit over cost of goods sold, sales, all those items. Apart from that, you need to find opening stock also. So in the question they may not mention about the case of a trading memorandum trading account. On the basis of these informations like this, you need to understand that you need to follow the methods or cases which we have learned under the trading memorandum account or memorandum trading account. It's very easy. There is only two equations. You need to know the equation of sales as well as the equation of cost of goods sold, and use the necessary information given in the question, substitute it, you will get the missing figure. That's very easy. So remember, whenever this kind of information and regarding the information of certain percentage like 33 1/3% of cost or 25% of sales, if such information is given, remember it is a case of trading memorandum account. So let us go with the further computations. This was the question. So on the basis of the details here, first of all let us go through the computation relating to trading memorandum account. So in the question it is mentioned that he has no record of the stock on 31st December 2015. That is known as opening stock 31st 12 2015. That means 1st January 2015. These two dates are almost related. So actual purpose, the thing is that in the question there is no information regarding opening stock, but it is mentioned that he doesn't have any record of closing stock, but that stock is there. It's actually in existence. So you need to find the value of opening stock. And we know that sales equal to cost of goods sold plus gross profit. So let us find out the opening stock. So where can we find the value of opening stock? How we are going to find the value of opening stock? We have learned that in order to find opening stock, we need to use one equation. What was that? Cost of goods sold equal to opening stock plus purchases plus expenses minus closing stock. If you are using that equation, you can easily find the value of opening stock. So in that case, that means that in that particular equation we don't have cost of goods sold as per the details given in the question, and details of purchases is not there. Purchases, direct expenses, leave it. The main thing is cost of goods sold. We don't have any information regarding cost of goods sold, because cost of goods sold is needed to find out the value of opening stock by using the second equation. So how we are going to find the cost of goods sold? From this equation we can find cost of goods sold, that is sales equal to cost of goods sold plus gross profit. And in the question whether there are any information regarding sales, no, the only information is that he sells his goods at cost plus 33.1/3%. So here also there is no definite details or any specific amount regarding sales as well as gross profit. So first of all you need to find sales. About gross profit, in the question it is mentioned that it represents 33.1/3% plus cost, like that. So there is some information regarding gross profit. We have no information regarding sales. So if you have got the information regarding sales and gross profit, you could have easily found out the value of cost of goods sold. If you have the value of cost of goods sold, you can use the second equation to find the value of opening stock. So that is the flow of steps. Those are the steps that has to be done. So you should have an idea regarding what are the steps has to be done to find out the answer. You should have a plan of action regarding the computation. So that is the steps which we have to find. So first of all, let us find sales. Again we have issue in the question. There is no information regarding sales, no information regarding cash sales, and no information regarding credit sales. So how we are going to find the value of sales? The same old method, preparation of total debtors account. So here debtors opening and closing balance is given. Opening balance is 3475 and closing balance is 5165. Now go through all the sentences. If there are any information regarding debtors are given in the question or not. Received from debtors 41,450. So cash account updated to debtors by cash 41,450. Drawings, all other informations are not relevant as far as debtors account is concerned. Total debtors, opening debtors, closing debtors is already recorded. There are no further information regarding debtors. So let us balance this account. In initial glance itself, you can understand that right side is having bigger value. So write down the total on credit side as well as debit side and take the difference between these two values. Then you will get credit sales during the year. So now we have sales during the period. And don't worry about it. In the question, if there is no information regarding cash sales, or you can't find the amount of cash sales from any of the hidden information, don't worry, this sales can be considered as the sales during the period. It doesn't necessary that you must need cash sales and credit sales. But if there is any information or you can sort out the value of cash sales by any means, definitely you need to find cash sales also. Since there are no information, direct information or indirect information regarding cash sales is mentioned in the question, you can assume that during the year there was only 43,140 as sales. We will come to that while preparing trading profit and loss account. Right now we just found the amount of sales. So now we can use this equation in this one. Sales during the year is 43,140. Since there is no information regarding cash sales, this amount can be considered as sales during the year. Next one, gross profit. And here it is mentioned that gross profit is 33,1 by 3 percentage of cost. See, he sells his goods at cost plus 33,1 by 3 percentage. That is 33,1 by 3 percentage of cost. In the last session we have learned that whenever information like 33,1 by 3 percentage of cost is given, you can either use that one or you can follow 25 percentage of sales. These two remains the same, means the concept is the same. Gross profit will always be like, gross profit will be certain percentage of sales, at the same time it will be a certain percentage of cost. So whenever there is 33,1 by 3 percentage of cost is mentioned, that gross profit means it will be the 25 percentage of sales. That is the concept. So in this question there is no information regarding cost of goods sold. We need to find out. So don't worry about the cost. Let us do the other step, that is 33,1 by 3 percentage of cost is always equal to 25 percentage of sales, and sales amount is already there. So take the 25 percentage of 43,140, you will get 10785. So now we have sales and profit. So if you deduct sales from profit, see, sales equal to cost of goods sold plus profit. We have amount of sales and gross profit. So we will shift these two items to the left hand side. So sales minus gross profit, you will get cost of goods sold, that is 32,355. So we have cost of goods sold. Next you need to find opening stock. In the beginning of the computation I have mentioned that cost of goods sold equation is opening stock plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock. Since there are no information regarding direct expenses, let us forget about this one. So consider only these four items: cost of goods sold, opening stock, purchases, closing stock. So we have cost of goods sold. So from cost of goods sold you need to deduct purchases and add closing stock. Remember, here it is plus and here it is minus. So if we are shifting these two items to the left hand side, plus purchase will be minus purchase, minus closing stock will be plus closing stock. These are basic maths, we are not going to further into that. The thing is, for finding opening stock you need cost of goods sold. We already found it. We need purchases. There are no purchases or details regarding purchase is not given in the question. Direct expense, don't worry, if it is there you can take it, otherwise don't worry about it. And closing stock is also given in the question. So in order to find opening stock you need purchase. Since there are no information regarding purchases directly given in the question, we can find the amount of purchases by preparing the account total creditors account. We know that total creditors account is prepared to find out credit purchases. Similarly, in case of total debtors account also the same concept is also followed in case of total creditors. Here there are no information regarding cash purchases. So let us prepare total creditors account to find purchases during the period. Just like the debtor system, creditors also have opening and closing balance. So write down these balances in the respective columns of this account. Opening balance is 1,500, closing balance is 3,600. Now go through each and every point of the question whether there are any transactions with regard to creditors. See, payment to creditors 32,600. So whenever payment is made, the entry will be creditors account debtor to cash 32,600. Now go through again all the details. You can see that we have recorded all the items relating to creditors. So let us balance this account. Just like the balancing of debtors account, here also go through the totals. This side is having a bigger value, write down the total, show the same total in the other side also, and find the difference between 36,200 minus 1,500. You will get credit purchases during the year. So why we prepare total creditors account? In order to find purchases, so that we can substitute in this equation. So for substituting this equation, purchases means total purchases. In the question we have no information regarding cash purchases, so we can assume that during the year the total purchases was 34,700 and all the purchases was on credit. There is no rule regarding there must be cash percentage or there must be credit. There is no certain percentage regarding purchases made during the year. The total purchases means cash purchase plus credit purchase. If there is no information regarding cash purchase, okay, don't worry, consider the credit purchases as the total purchases during the year. So less purchases 34,700. Now from closing stock we deduct purchases, but we need to add closing stock because here it is minus closing stock. So if we carry forward to this side, it will be add closing stock 5,200, that is given in the question. See, 5,200, you will get opening stock during the period. So this is how you have to use the trading memorandum account computations in a conversion method case while preparing final accounts. So I hope you have understand the concept, familiarize these cases. So let us go to the next one. Preparation of other ledger accounts to identify the missing figures. So total debtors account is prepared, total creditors account is prepared. Next one, important one, cash account. So let us begin with the balances given in the question. Here the opening balance of cash is given. So write down the opening balance to balance BD 6,150. There are no information regarding the closing balance, so definitely this account is prepared to find out the closing balance, because in the previous sessions we were preparing cash account to find total cash sales, total cash sales. So let us continue with that. Received from debtors 41450. So by debtors, sorry, to debtors 41450. Next one, personal drawings 3,500. Drawings account debited to cash. By drawings 3,500. Payment to creditors 32,600. So entry will be creditors account debited to cash. In the cash it will be by creditors. Salaries paid during the year 2,500. So by salaries 2,500. Rent paid just like salaries, an expense. By rent 1,400. Again another expense, electricity charges. By electricity charges 275. Next one, printing and stationery 340. By printing and stationery 340. And finally advertising 460. Now again go through all these minute informations given in the question. Make sure whether you have recorded all the details. So now let us balance this account. By the initial glance you can see that this side will have a bigger value, or total, this side total will be higher when compared to this one. So write down the total 47,600. Write down the same total in the other column also. Now take the totals and find the difference between 47,600 and all these amounts. Definitely you will get a difference amount. That difference amount is known as closing balance. So we have found out the closing balance of cash account. And the next important statement, not an account, statement you have to prepare. Actually, you must prepare. That is statement of affairs as on 31st December 2015, otherwise known as opening statement of affairs, or in simple terms we can say opening balance sheet. So let us begin with details given in the question. The first opening balance regarding assets and liabilities: cash 6,150. After that, debtors 3,475. After that, creditors 1,500. Rent outstanding 200. Electricity charges outstanding 40. Either you can write separately or you can write down the total amount. There is no rules regarding that. Since it is an outstanding expenses, they have wrote the amounts as the total, grand total, and shown the total amount here. Advertisement expenses outstanding, there are nothing. And finally, cash flow. Stock 28,055. We have already found the amount of opening stock. And finally, take the total. This side is a bigger value when compared to this one, so the difference amount is opening capital. So all these steps are the common steps which we have been following until the previous cases. The only difference is that in this case we were following the trading memorandum computations in order to identify this opening stock. It doesn't mean that it is prepared to find opening stock. It may be prepared to find opening stock, or it may be prepared to find closing stock, or it may be prepared to find sales, or whatever it is. Even gross profit may be computed. So opening stock is there. So we have prepared all the ledger accounts that are required for preparing final accounts. So let us begin with preparation of trading profit and loss account and balance sheet. This is the pattern of the question. These were the computation which we have done now on the basis of the information given in the question. Now let us begin with trading profit and loss account. So here it is mentioned that closing date is 31st December 2016. So trading profit and loss account for the year ended 31st December 2016. We will begin with stock. We already found the opening stock 2855. Closing stock is also given 5,200. After that, the next account which we have prepared, you can either go for the question part or you can go for the computation, in any order you may like. But the thing is, don't miss any of the items. You have to go through all these details. So now we have gone through the computations and found out opening stock. Whenever there is opening stock, closing stock is also there. So we write down the closing stock also. Next one, debtors. To find sales 43,140. After that, we prepare creditors account so as to find 34,700 purchases. So we have recorded all the details with regard to the information given in the question. Now let us balance this account so as to find the gross profit, whether there is gross profit or gross loss during the period. Here also, here the right side is having a bigger value, so write down the total 48,340. Show the same total in this side also. Find the difference between 48,340 and 34,700 and 2,855. You will get gross profit during the period, and you got 10,785. We already found the gross profit in the computation of opening stock. So the thing is, you can either go for computations of this in here, or you can directly prepare trading account if you have further information. If you have sales, closing stock, purchases and opening stock, all these information can be see. Opening stock we don't have, we need to find. Purchases can be obtained from creditors. Gross profit can be obtained from the information given, that is 1/3 of cost or 25% of sales. Sales is all can be obtained from debtors, and closing stock is given. So instead of preparing this computation, you can directly go for trading profit and loss account and write down like this: But in this case, you have to find out the gross profit first, and that balancing figure will be the opening stock. You can find out by this method also, that is known as memorandum trading account. Computation of opening stock or any of the items in the trading account by preparation of the account is known as memorandum trading account. You can either prepare directly from trading profit and loss account. You can easily find out the amount of opening stock, or you can prepare the computation and do the usual pattern. Anyway, it's all up to your discretion. You can follow in any method. Anyway, find it correctly. So gross profit is 10,785. So in order to do the profit and loss account, we need gross profit. So let us brought down this amount by gross profit 10,785. Now let us go through all the details, whether there are any information regarding expenses and incomes. Salaries during the year 2,500. Rent. Before we go into rent, make sure not only rent, whenever you are writing or dealing with profit and loss account, whenever any information regarding expenses or incomes is there, please go through the adjustment whether there are any outstanding items in the opening and closing items or any other information in the adjustment area. Make sure whether there are any informations or not. Since there are no information regarding salaries, you can write down salaries. Rent, but there is information, that is 1,400 is a rent expenses during the year. But in the question, rent outstanding, opening is given, closing is given. I believe you all guys know how to deal with opening outstanding and closing outstanding. I am not going further into that. So rent amount less opening outstanding, add closing outstanding, write down the net amount. Next one, electricity charges. Again, it also has an outstanding amount given. Same procedure is followed. Electricity expenses 275 less opening, add closing. You will get net amount. Next one, printing and stationery. No information, means no other additional information. So write down printing and stationery 340. And finally, advertisements 460. There is one information regarding outstanding advertisement at the closing. So add closing, write down the net amount. Now again go through all these details, whether we have missed any of the details that has to be recorded in the profit and loss account. If not, take the total of both sides, find out which side is having the bigger value. Here the 10,785 in the right side is having the bigger value. Write down 10,785. Write the same amount in this side also. Take the difference between 10,785 and these amounts. Remember, I am mentioning the same aspect again and again. While preparing balancing profit and loss account, consider the amounts after this total. Don't consider these total or any of the items above. So add these values, take the difference from 10,785, you will get net profit during the year 5425. Now let us prepare balance sheet. Again, balance sheet is prepared on the closing date. Closing date is 31st December 2016. So balance sheet as on 31st December 2016 is given. So let us begin with first one. Closing stock 5,200. After that we have prepared. Let us go through any pattern you can follow, or either go through all the computations, or after that you go through questions, or you can go through all the questions, after that your computations, any pattern. Now in the computation we have first done the computations of opening stock, finding out the value of opening stock. Since in the balance sheet we need only closing stock, check for the closing stock amount 5,200. After that we prepared debtors account. Here the closing balance of debtors is 5165. The same amount will be given in the closing balance also. So just make sure whether these amounts are same. In 99% cases these amounts will be the same. After that we prepare creditors account. Here the closing balance is 3,600. Here also 3,600. After that, we prepare cash account, cash closing balance 6525. It is not there in the question. We have computed in this case. After that, we prepare statement of affairs to find out opening capital. Here, but writing down the actual value of capital at the end of the period, there is certain format followed for that. I believe you all know what is the format for finding out the actual capital at the end of the period. So opening capital given 10,740, add net profit 5425, less drawings during the year. Here drawings 3,500. See, if you are familiar with the format, just identify each item. What are the items? You need to add profit. If there is addition capital, add. If there is interest on capital, add. Less drawings, likewise. So just identify the values from the question or the computation. So these are the only details given in the question. So our net capital is 12,660. After that, go through all the question part. See, first paragraph nothing. Second paragraph is the details regarding cash. We already found the amount of closing cash. Other details, debtors is taken, creditors is taken. See, rent outstanding, these amounts we haven't taken. Rent outstanding closing 300, electricity outstanding 25, advertising expenses to 300, so total 625. You can either write this amount separately or take the total. There is no rule regarding you have to do like that or you have to do like this. There is no rule regarding. Since all these are outstanding expenses, they have given a head under that these amounts are written. And next, last paragraph, closing stock we already taken. No record of opening stock, we found that. Gross profit details. So right now we have recorded all the details with regard to final accounts preparation. So now take the total of both sides. If you take the total, you will get equal value, that is 16,890. So this is how you have to deal with the preparation of final accounts. If there are computations on the basis of memorandum trading account. I believe you all guys has understand the steps which we have discussed now. Just go through all these steps and points which we have discussed. Understand each step, familiarize each of the cases. So just go through it. We will discuss about some of the other types of adjustments or cases with regard to preparation of a conversion method. So go through it. If you have any queries, please do let me know. Okay, that's all for today. We will continue with the next areas in the next sessions.